YouTube Nation, what is up? Eagles Truth here with you. And if you see the reflection in my glasses, I basically just put my phone, like I opened up the cupboard, and I propped my phone up right next to a big can of Jif peanut butter. So if you guys can see that shit in my glasses, I think ahead. I'm explaining it in the process, all right? Basically, no news to talk about. Look, um, no shocking news. I mean, Doug Peterson, head coach, we knew that was coming. Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator, which I mean, if you're a stats person and you only look at stats and only look at prior history and everything, you gotta love the move, right? Seems to be the only thing Philly looks at. Don't get me wrong, I'm in favor of the move. I'm just saying. We got some guy I don't even know as offensive coordinator. Okay, I mean, I'll admit when I don't know shit. I don't know who the hell he is. Um, they kept the right coaches: Stoutland, Unlun, Deuce Staley, Phipp, in no particular order, okay? But they kept the right coaches. You know, if you had to choose, all right, if we were going to keep anybody, who would we keep? They kept the right, they picked the right people. Um, they picked the right defensive coordinator, I think. Again, we don't know. What if I told you the Eagles' defense could be last in the league next year? You wouldn't think it, because there's some pieces to work with, some good pieces to work with on defense. We got Jim Schwartz, who's almost always has a top five defense. It seems like, you know. But one thing I've noticed with the Eagles is logic doesn't always. You never fucking know. Now again, if I had my pick, if I was the head coach, and I don't know shit, right? But if I was the head coach, Jim Schwartz would be my. And I had a pick of anybody. Jim Schwartz would have been my pick of anybody. Matter of fact, you could probably take almost every defensive coordinator in the NFL off their teams and still let me have a pick. And I would probably still pick Jim Schwartz. So I'm happy with the move. Doesn't mean shit just because I'm happy. We don't know. But from my opinion, they picked the right guy. They kept the right people. They're trying to extend the right people. They want to extend Curry, Lane Johnson, Zach Ertz. We got to get Cox done, but they're choosing to keep the right people. Now again, the only one that I don't know. I mean, there's Greg Lewis that they brought in to coach the receivers, I believe, and I think they hired Rory Segrest for the D line again, which he doesn't got a great track record as far as that. He was run out of town, I believe, in favor of Jim Washburn, I think. I don't have no idea. So those are questionable, and I don't know the offensive coordinator. I don't know who he is. So, I mean, maybe good move, maybe bad. I don't know who he is, so who am I to say? But I think that's, let's be real, Doug Peterson even admitted as much. He's going to call the plays. So, it's basically just an assistant coach, so to speak. I mean, we're going to bitch over the offensive coordinator when we know Doug Peterson's going to have his fingerprints over everything, so it doesn't really matter. Um, so outside of Segrest and Greg Lewis, which Greg Lewis I think has the maturity and the just because you're not a good player doesn't mean you're not going to be a good coach. Matter of fact, it's usually the other way around. Usually, all the good coaches were mediocre at best players. So really, they've for the most part have kept the right people, have brought in the right people, and are looking to extend the right players. You know what I mean? So far, and I don't know if it's Howie Roseman or if it's Doug Peterson or who it is, or if it's a collaboration of both, all of them. I don't know who it is. All I know is so far, the Eagles are being ran so far, and it's a very tiny sample, but so far the front office is running well. Like it's doing, making decisions that make sense. You know what I mean? And I said it before when Chip Kelly was fired, we're going to get a yes man. I think I was and now it's all over Eagles message boards. I said it first. We're just gonna get a yes man, and that's exactly who we got. We got a yes man. But so far the right decisions are being made. We haven't seen them game plan a game yet, even play a game yet. We don't see who they're gonna draft, who they're going targeting in free agency. We haven't seen any of that shit yet. So this is like me crediting anything they're doing is very minuscule. But so far, from the coaches that they've kept to the coaches they brought in to the players they're going to try to that they're reportedly trying to extend, they're making the right moves right now. And again, they're making the perceived right moves because again, logic, you don't know. I mean, we were in 2010. We lost to the eventual Super Bowl champions, a really good Green Bay Packers team. We barely lost them. Barely. Not bad. And then in the offseason, we get all these good players. Nnamdi Asomugha, who'd have thought he'd have started sucking as bad as he did. Yes, we didn't use him properly, but he fell off a cliff somehow. I think the only one that probably panned out. I mean, Jason Babin did what he was brought in to do, and that was to get sacks. He did that much. Was probably Evan Mathis was probably the lone, But anyway, who'd have thought that? Then we'd have went 8-8 and then 4-12. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, hell, we had Asante Samuel, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, and Nnamdi Asomugha before Nnamdi Asomugha showed any signs of suckage at all. Like he was dominant. I'm sitting here thinking like, holy shit. And it's just the Eagles have found ways to screw it up. We couldn't get all three of those players on the field at the same fucking time. Could not find a way. Well, this person's not meant for the slot. This person's not meant for the slot. Fucking make them work for the slot. At least make them try it. Anyway. I was sitting there thinking like three really good, oh my god, and we try shit and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. We get freaking these running backs. I thought last year this past year that say what you want about Chip Kelly's moves, but the one thing is like, hey, we're at least gonna have a running game, and Chip Kelly likes to run the ball, and we got a plethora of backs, and the offensive line, and nothing ever works out how you think. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I don't know. Hope we keep Sam Bradford. There's one eensy-weensy little possible scenario in which I say don't keep him, and that's when he's so biased against the Eagles, like, I do not want to be here. You want me here? You gotta pay this much more than the top bidder or something, and I'll stay. Then it's like, look, okay, now that you're not even at market value anymore, even for a top quarterback, you're not. So it's like we wouldn't even pay Brady this much. What the hell, And then it's like, okay, you can't do that to your team. But apart from that, a franchise quarterback is everything. And I see message boards on the Eagles message boards, post after post. People are like, oh, he's average. Look what he did in St. Louis. Look at his numbers. He's average. It's all you guys look at is past. Use your eyes and watch the all 22, please, of the last 10-8 games, and just watch the quarterback. Don't say, I'm going to be impressed after what I watch. And don't say he's going to be average after what I watch. Go in with a clear, and he's a friend. I've went down this before, and I keep saying I'm done talking about it, but it's a pressing issue. And Sam Bradford, the health is the only concern I have for him. He's a franchise quarterback. He can be a damn good quarterback. Him and Cox were the only really pleasant surprises. Now, I knew Cox was good, obviously. He got snubbed last year's Pro Bowl and everything. But, he was dominant this year. and it was one of the few good things. Sam Bradford was the other one, especially down the stretch. He was playing at a really good level, and you want to let one of them walk, and call him average and a bust while doing it, while letting him walk. Philadelphia fans and the QBs, man, not a good history. You guys, the backup quarterback is always the most popular guy in town, unless he's Sanchez. But I mean, like, you guys, when's the quarterback carousel going to end? When? After McNabb, and I said this on the message boards. I said, Bradford, I think, if healthy, is a better quarterback than McNabb ever was. And people, and right, you guys are going to go crazy on me now too. Think about what McNabb had. He was brought in the right way, first of all. He was drafted, didn't play at the end of the year, had Doug Pearson, who's now their coach, and everything, kind of, work with them and helped them, and Andy groomed him a little bit. But think about what he had. He had almost every year a top 5 defense. You know how much that helps you in winning games? Helps you a lot. The NFC East was down, was really, really down in those years. Let's be real. The NFC East was kind of basically almost like what it is now. That's what the NFC East was. And we had a top 5 defense. He had a really good offensive line in front of him, with John Runyon and, Trey Thomas. I mean, he had a really solid offensive line, and he had a very reliable running game. Now, again, when Reed decided to call running plays, but Westbrook, Deuce Staley, and Buckhalter, that 3-headed monster, he was set up. He was totally set up for success. Now, I respect what he ultimately did, because at the end of the day, he did, outside winning a Super Bowl. But I mean, ultimately, he had success. Who are we to say, well, you only had success because of? But let's open our eyes and be real. If we had the Sam Bradford that played against the Giants, and I'm not just talking Tatum, because the Giants defense is terrible, let's be real. But if we had that Sam Bradford at the last game of the season this year, if we had that Sam Bradford in the Super Bowl 39, we beat the Patriots. It was a 3-point game, and McNabb was terrible. Terrible. I think he threw 3 picks or something. It was terrible. And again, that's one game, I get it. But I mean, what McNabb was good at was managing the game. He would make a wow play, a play that your jaw would drop every now and then, sure. But for the most part, it was balls right into the freaking ground, right at the receiver's feet. He would get jittery all the time and everything else. Get happy feet. I remember the game when Terrell Owens went down against the Cowboys in 2004. The rest of that game, look how jittery McNabb was. Go watch it. 2002 against the Buccaneers. We're feeling good and everything. McNabb froze, and there goes Rondé Barber. He was good at managing the game. Good offensive line, reliable running game, great defense to back him up. Just don't screw it up, McNabb. Don't screw it up, Don. And the regular season, and for the most part, he didn't. He was really good at keeping his interception totals low. That was what was good. Until it mattered. Then the wheels fell off for whatever reason. So yes, I respect McNabb. But just because he got us to championship games and got us to a Super Bowl and everything, I'm not going to be freaking an idiot to not see what I saw through 99 for like 10 years. There was a lot of bad I saw in 10 years too. I saw him constantly, that Eagles defense, the Jim Johnson defense, bail him out again and again. I saw the... Don't get me wrong, he had his moments. He had his moments, throwing 4 touchdowns against Arizona on pretty much a broken leg for the most part. Broken ankle, whatever it was. 4th and 26. That 14-second scramble. You know, he had his moments. But I mean, I don't know what you guys. We lose Bradford. There's nothing. There's nobody in the draft that seems, I have to say seems because Tom Brady was like a 6th or 7th round draft pick, but that seems, you know, like anything. Nobody in free agency. Who do you want? You want us to draft a quarterback? That way we can groom him, and then he can be Philadelphia's hope. He can be the love child, like Nick Foles was. And then when he's pushed into the starting job, whenever he has even a little bit of controversy, bad play or anything, you guys are going to jump on his case too. That's what Philly does. That's who you are. I might be in El Paso, Texas now, but I lived in Pennsylvania all my life. I know how you guys are. And it's, like I said, I'll always say I'm an Eagles fan, but I hate Eagles fans. I hate the fan base, man. The diehard ones, the ones that are like, you know, the extremists. I can't stand you. I can't stand you. You don't think past your own bullshit. Because all I hear about Sam Bradford is, look what he did in St. Louis, what he did say, he's always average. But what and they might look at the end of the day numbers, which at the end of the day wasn't that bad. 3,700 some passing yards, 67% completion percentage or something like that, or whatever. The touchdowns were the interceptions were you know what I mean? But a lot of those were at the early end of the season. You know what I mean? If you just forget about what he did in St. Louis, take the blinders off and just look at the guy play. Forget whether you hate the guy or like the guy, just watch him play. You saw a really good quarterback. You saw a franchise quarterback. You saw a quarterback that, yes, we can win a Super Bowl with him. And I know, guys, I broke my promise to you. I'm here ranting about Sam Bradford again. I can't help it. It's the one thing outside of, you know, free agency or the draft or whatever. It's the one question. What are we doing with Sam Bradford? Are we letting him walk? Are we paying him a lot of money in a deal? Are we tagging him to keep him? Are we tagging him to try to trade him? It's the one big, what are we going to do with Sam Bradford? It's the one thing. We got our defensive coordinator, we got our offensive coordinator, we got our coach, we got, you know, we have an idea of who we should be targeting in free agency in the draft. Offensive line, maybe receiver, maybe corner, maybe even linebacker. Peace out, guys.